Hey guys, welcome into Amanda's Favorites. Today's video is my 2025 planner stack. This is where I go over all the planners I'm going to start the year in. This year, I even surprised myself. I was set to start the year in the Common Planner, but then a brand new planner that wasn't on my radar came in late November and I changed up my weekly planner. And guys, I've never done this before, but I actually learned to brush letter my name in the front of my planners this year from a brush lettering basics class from today's video sponsor, Skillshare. Now, it's not nearly as perfect as some of yours that I see on Instagram, but I'm just not a perfectionist like that, and it only took me about a half hour to learn my name. Now, in that time, I only learned the 4 letters that I needed for my name. But guys, this girl is good. She went through the entire alphabet, uppercase and lowercase, plus flourishes, how to connect letters. You can really tell a difference between a professional class like this and a random YouTube tutorial. Skillshare is an amazing place to learn pretty much anything online with professional classes from people who really know what they're doing. And it's not just brush lettering. I've taken classes on sourdough, bullet journaling, then there's classes on home decor and productivity. You can learn a lot in a really short amount of time. So if you've never hopped on Skillshare before, I highly recommend it. And if you're one of the first 500 people to the link in the description, you will get an entire month free trial of Skillshare. You can learn so much in an entire month. So feel free to pause the video and go grab your spot real quick. And if you end up checking out that same class that I did, make sure to tag me on Instagram with your brush lettering. All right, let's jump right into my 2025 planner lineup. And if you find something in my stack that you want to pick up for yourself, consider clicking through my affiliate link when you purchase. It only takes a couple of seconds, but it supports me more than you know. And it's the best way you can say thank you if you enjoy my content. I did not want to have the whole stack sitting out here, you guys, because I want to make it a little bit fun. I want to pull up one item at a time. So we are going to start with my Ashley Shelley monthly planner. If you've been with me for any amount of time, then you know that I basically use this as my wall calendar. I converted from a wall calendar to this about 5 years ago, probably, maybe 6 years ago, and I have not looked back. It solved every problem that I had about a wall calendar. So all the problems that I had with a wall calendar were it's hard to, constantly look ahead and write things on the wall. And wall calendars are generally not made of things that you can easily use friction pens on and erase. So I'd have to move things around with Post-it notes. Everything is written in my monthly planner with friction pen and friction highlighter, and that is it. The only thing that's not friction is marking out all those days with the marker color choice of the month. So that is how I use my Ashley Shelley notebook planner. This is actually my collab planner with Ashley. And this is the 6x9 size that I am going to use, but there is a 5x8 size too. The 6x9 size is sold out. There is only a few left of the 5x8 size. These are sewn. This is a picture that I took in Destin a year ago on the beach at sunrise. And this is a picture I took in Destin at sunset. So I get to pick the cover and the monthly colors, which is really fun. If you want the whole story on this collab monthly notebook planner, then definitely hop on over to the review video on this. I will link it down in the description for you. I do have an affiliate link with Ashley Shelley. I do not have a discount code. These monthly stickers are a fun collab that I did with Hand Can Plan Sticker Shop to match my monthly colors in here, but also they match the Erin Condren colors. So she kind of made a blend of my monthly color with Erin Condren colors because a lot of ours were the same. And I go over these stickers in that Ashley Shelley video too. I have an ongoing discount code with Hand Can Plan. You can get 20% off every single order with her. All my affiliate links and codes are down in the description. These also work great with just any planner if you're someone who doesn't want big stickers. That's why she made these little mini sticker sheets and they flow with the seasons and the colors of the seasons. So that was a really fun collab to go with this also. But I have already started putting things in here you can see with sticky notes for way far ahead. And All my big items also go in my iCal, but I cannot live without this right in front of me. I generally don't use the lined pages in between the months. Sometimes I do, but it's nice to have them there because it keeps your month looking really clean too, no matter how much you write on the previous month, because you have that page in between. And it's amazing 80-pound paper. I just love the colors I picked for the different seasons and holidays. But if my monthly collab is sold out, or if you like Ashley Shelley's monthly colors better, she also sells a monthly notebook planner. She has four covers, I think, 4 covers of her own, somewhere around there. So if my collab is sold out, or you just like her monthly colors better, then that is an option for you. This is indispensable. This is number 1. My command central that I need in my life, because it sits up on an acrylic easel on my desk. And that way I can see it all the time, just like a wall calendar that you see all the time. And it really does stay open perfectly on this little stand. This easel was from Erin Condren years ago. Unfortunately, she does not sell it anymore, but I'm sure you can find a similar one on Amazon or like at Hobby Lobby. All right, so that is number 1 in my lineup. I do not use monthly layouts in my weekly planner. I only put my monthly stuff and use monthly layouts in my Ashley Shelley. So it's always up there. And this is like command home base number 1. I do not bring any of my planners with me to appointments though. So like I said, all my appointments also go in my iCal. My weekly planner is going to be Hemlock and Oak B5, you guys. This even surprised me. I actually was all set to use the Common Planner as my weekly planner this year. This case is many years old from a company called One Star Leather Goods. I'm not even sure if they're still around, but you can try to look them up. But I just had it stuck in here, and I was going to start in this because if you watched my Q4 planner wrap up for the year, what was I in Q4 and wrapping up all my planners and journals? I was in my Hobonichi Cousin to wrap up Q4, and it was working pretty well for me. And so I was going to try out the Common Planner this year. I don't use the daily pages though. When I use the weekly, I don't like to flip back and forth. I was just using the weekly in it. If you want to check out my Q4, then this video might make a lot more sense to you. So we'll link that video down below, my Q4 planner stack lineup. So this is where I was set. You can see I've already put a few things in it, but then this beauty came in, you guys. And this beauty solved all my problems because Hemlock and Oak in its smaller size was just not big enough for me. I mean, but that's like the Common Planner. I was just going to squeeze in it, and I was choose the Common Planner so I could really have a good feel for it and compare against Hobonichi. If you want to know all about Hemlock and Oak, I'm going to link that recent review video down here with you too. You guys, they offer really amazing quality planners, and they are all made sustainably in Canada and have really affordable shipping to the US. And I have an ongoing 10% off code with Hemlock and Oak. It's Amanda's Favorites. You can use it every time at checkout. So do not forget to punch that in. I also have an affiliate link with them. I did see they had come out with a B5 size, but honestly, it didn't hit me like a light bulb that this was going to work for me until it arrived. So the grid in the B5 is just a tiny bit bigger than their normal. Their normal grid is 4.2 and this grid is 4.4, if I'm remembering that right from the review video. So just the grid being a tiny bit bigger at 4.4, and that also opened up all this space at the bottom for weekly lists, which you guys know I love. I like to have my lists also viewing my week, and then more to-do list room down the side, just completely open. I don't generally use the times. It's from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. with half-hour line slots, but it's easy enough for me to not worry about the times, and I just write my items on here because my big items, timed items for me, always go up top. And then just like my to-do list for the day. You have your monthly and everything in here, but if I use my monthly and my weekly planner, I only use it as like memory keeping because I don't flip. I just don't flip. I need to see my monthly up in front of me. It just works perfectly for me. So I'm not going to knock the system. So I'm so excited about this B5, you guys, because they have amazing 80-pound paper, the bigger grid, the bigger size page, which I needed too. And I'm so excited to start the year in this. Warning, I hope the B5 is not sold out by the time this video comes out. because they are still a smaller company growing, I don't think that there's going to be any restock on the B5 when they're sold out. So if you want one and there is any left at the time of this video, I would just purchase right away. And I love how there's room for washi tape at the bottom. Of course, that takes a tiny bit of your list room, but not a huge amount, because generally writing at the very bottom of a page is not that easy. I love that also then your little box up here got a little bit bigger, where I like to write like the big timed thing for the day in there, or the big focus for the day. I am so excited about being in this beautiful Hemlock and Oak B5 planner. You guys, I can't tell you. When it came in, all of a sudden I was like, that's it. My planner woes are over, because this is the answer for 2025. And once again, if you want to see where I'm coming from and what weeklies I used in 2024, which I only used 3 weeklies the whole entire year, and one was like for 9 months of the year. So if you want to see what I was in, check out that 2024 stack video. All right. Next up is my content planner. Well, I was all set to use the horizontal Laurel Denise again for my content planner. That's what I've been using for like a year and a half now, and it has been working great for me. But I began to get one little pain point in it, and I thought that switching to her project planner would solve that pain point. So I had already prepped and gotten this horizontal planner all ready for my content plans when I decided that I have to try out and switch to the monthly project planner. So I did switch covers on this because I want a Monday start, because I don't do any content on Sundays ever. And so that's right next to the coil, and I'd rather just have that blocked out and have my weekend together, since all my content is in the rest of the week. But I like to see just the weekend together, and I visually need to see that marked out as I get used to this new planner. You know how you're so used to looking at something? Like my horizontal content planner sits up on a planner stand on my desk also. So I always see it. And your eyes, you're so used to looking at something. So this will take a little bit of time, but I think this is going to work out better for me, because how I used this content planner, I would have my videos on sticky notes and sponsored reels on sticky notes. So those big things were on the monthly. But then any other Instagram content that I could move around, that didn't have to go on a certain day, basically I just wrote on my weekly. And so it was like a tentative plan, and I could move it around. But then as I got more and more on my big monthly calendar here, especially during the busy months at the end of the year, I was not liking that I had to look on this day and be like, oh, well, I don't have anything. But then looking over here and finding out, what I do have. So I know I'm not explaining this great, but just looking in both places was not the best thing for me anymore, planning wise. So this way, my videos are still going to go on sticky notes, but then all my other content, reels and everything, are just going to be written on the exact monthly day here. So I'm only looking in one place, and I can really see what's going on, instead of comparing the bigger things in the month to the smaller weekly things and accidentally having things possibly, stack on top of each other when I didn't realize that. So just one box every day, no weeklies. And I've never done it this way for my content planning before, but I think the way things are going now, it's going to work great. So I have already decorated only the first couple months. I decided I could just put a washi strip down Sunday instead of actually crossing it out. So I think that's what I'm going to use, my Planner Perfect washi tapes, to just brighten up the month and put a strip down Sunday, because I never have to write anything there. I think I only decorated, I only went through March thinking, well, what if I switch again? But I think this is going to work really well. And then any notes I need to make, I just still have this big room over here. So I love the Laurel Denise Project Planner. I switched covers. It's easy to pull apart these rings and switch covers on Laurel Denise planners if you need to, because the only Monday start in the project planner that I had her black cover on it. And I just really love to see my colored cover and the cute. All I see is the inside all year, but I see this little inside strip. I always say that's the most important part to me of what I see here, because that's what I see all year. And so I wanted to see something pretty there and happy. So I flipped out these covers and it worked perfectly. So that is the Laurel Denise Project Planner. I have full Laurel Denise review video with all her planners, you guys, for 2025. And I think every single cover is in that too, and like every single planner. I will link that down in the description. I have a 10% off always to Laurel Denise. You can use over and over again every time you shop. The code is Amanda's Favorites, and I have an affiliate link. Now, you might ask, Amanda, are you going to use that horizontal for anything after you already decorated it all? Well, it doesn't matter if I do, but I have been using this year, and you can go look at my 2024 stack. Like I said, I was using a vertical for my health and wellness tracking this year. So I might switch to a horizontal since this one is decorated up. Of course, I'd have to remove the sticky notes, but other than that, it's decorated up nice. And I always put a washi strip over, like, those are the numbers going into the month that the week ends on this side. So I don't want to use it on that side. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't need to be used there. So that's why sometimes there's a washi strip up there. So I might use this for my health and wellness tracking, where mainly I just use the big month. Sometimes I write more detailed things in the weekly, but I don't even always use the weekly. But in the monthly, I'm tracking mainly like my sleep and some other health things up there on my monthly layout. Now, a project planner would actually probably work really well for this, since most of my tracking is in my monthly boxes. But like I said, every once in a while, I do want to write details on the week. So it is nice to have a weekly. And I've been using the vertical this year, but I actually think I'd be really happy in a horizontal for that too. So I'm not sure if I will use this one or if I will use a vertical that I have. Because on the other hand, I might want to save this for in case I want to switch back into it for my content. So that's my thoughts right now. I'm definitely going to use a Laurel Denise again for my health tracking, because seeing the whole month at once is amazing, with also being able to write any details in the week as needed. And if any just bigger details for the month need to be written on this big page, it just works so well for my health and wellness tracking right now. So I will definitely be in a Laurel Denise for that. Whether it will be this horizontal or a vertical, we'll see which one I end up in. Speaking of health and wellness tracking, this is a small but mighty book from Erin Condren. It is her perpetual calendars that come with her planners. They used to sell them separately. I don't think they sell them separately on the website anymore, which is really sad, but I'm sure you can get one off Amazon if you don't have one laying around from another company or from Erin Condren. I love these little perpetual calendars. I use one every single year for tracking chronic health problems. So it's just really easy to see. Like, I'm just going to use an example of migraines. I don't get migraines. But I'm using the example of, if you get migraines, it's easy to track what day you had it on, maybe how many hours it lasted. So when you look over the whole month, it's really easy to track and see that, and then flipping through months. So any kind of chronic issue, I also track my cycle on these. So it's really easy to see with pains or chronic issues. And then with cycle tracking all at once, where you do have like a whole line to be able to write something for that day. So I love a perpetual calendar for that. Also, if you're tracking things for your kids like that, you could have a separate one for each child. So it's just labeled whose it is, and to keep track of their health issues. And that way, when you go to the doctor and report and everything, you remember things and you have all your tracking. So I love these perpetual calendars for that. So I will be using this again this year. I don't always remember to share this in my planner lineup, but I need to, because honestly, it's something I use every single year. Oh, I think it would also be great for like weight tracking. If you wanted to do that, whenever you weigh in, you can just easily see the few days a month that you've weighed in, and you can look through all the months. So this might be enough for many people for their health or wellness tracking. All right, let's talk about my daily planner. For daily planners, I don't always use a dated daily planner. And daily planning is something I flip in and out of, because my weekly planner and my monthly is my real guide. And my daily really is just my daily list for me. So a lot of times I use just a simple notebook like this. I love little notebooks about this size. This one happens to be a Planner Perfect one, but of course you can pick up little notebooks like this anywhere. At Target, some of my favorite ones that I've shared in past videos have been little Becky Higgins notebooks, which are now only sold at Deseret Books. She's not selling them off her website anymore. I will link my favorite daily list notebooks video. That's where I share my favorite notebooks for daily lists. That's a really fun video if you love notebooks. We'll put that down in the description. So I've actually been tearing out the pages of this one because she has perforated pages in here. But I love just a simple notebook for my daily list. I just go to it. I can use as many pages as I need that day if it gets too messy. And I'm not trying to future plan in this at all. And it's just so small. It's close down to the table. It's easy to write in. So this is almost always what I come back to. A notebook about this size, almost always lined for my daily list. Now, I have used Planner Perfect plan books a lot in the past for my daily list too. They're fun because sometimes I decorate them up. You can get them in dot grid or lined or graph grid, but in her sub box, you can only get dot grid or blank pages, I believe. And you know what, guys? I just love the blank page. I don't mind them. So I've used these for my daily list a lot because then I'll use her washi tape for the season, which just makes it a little bit fun when you turn to the page and you have a seasonal washi tape on there too. But I've probably used these just as much as I've used these notebooks. So it kind of just depends on what I feel and want to be in for the month. But just a blank notebook is generally my choice for a daily planner. I do use dated daily planners and go in and out of them throughout the year, but I always come back to a blank notebook. I do have a discount code for Planner Perfect. It's Amanda20. It's 20% off your whole cart one time or 20% off your first subscription box. If you want to know about Planner Perfect, I have a full Planner Perfect playlist. And start with the Planner Perfect 101 video if you want to know what she offers. But my thoughts right now are that I might actually start the year in a dated daily planner. I am just loving Hemlock and Oak right now. And I have their new Daily Duo, which I have always loved their daily planner, but it was such a thick book because 80-pound paper and it was all in one bound book. Well, now they have split it into 2 daily books. All the details are in my Hemlock and Oak video link down there. But I love their daily pages because you do have your schedule to be able to put appointments or anything for the day or time block out your day. But most of the room is just for a list and a blank page. And you just have the really thick paper and you have a focus for the day. And I really like their daily layout. So like I said, I've jumped into their thick book and used it several times throughout the year, but it is just so thick and seems big sitting on my desk, but this seems so much more doable. So I think this is what I'm going to start the year in. Now, these paper covers for them were a new trial this year and they have already sold out on those. But as of now, they still have their Daily Duo split book left in their hardback cover and in their big, all together in one thick book. People also love using these for journaling. They turn into really beautiful journals if you want to journal every day. And now that leads us right into what am I going to use for journaling? So those are all my planners. I feel like it's really streamlined down this year. And those are all my planners that I'm going to start 2025 in, but let's talk about journals. Okay, if you've been following me, you know this is my second 5-year journal to use in a row, and they overlapped for, I think, 2 years. This one is from Unbound. My first one was from Leuchtturm, and I have a review video comparing the Unbound 5-year and the Leuchtturm 5-year journal. We will pop that down in the description too. This, you guys, I'm almost done. I started it in a February. Yes, I'm one of those rebels. I don't have to start my 5-year on January 1st. I started it on a random day in February. So this will finish up in February. I write every other day, blue ink, black ink in here, so it's easy to see. And this one, I really try to focus on how I saw the Lord's hand in my life that day or in my family's life, or some type of gratitude to the Lord for that day. So this has been a really special 5-year journal. And yes, my ribbon has pulled out, but I don't even mind. I really like this Unbound 5-year. The paper is really thick. The lines are really nice. I can't show you because every page is fully written on, but in my review video of it, which we'll link down below, you can see all the specs about it. So I am not starting a new 5-year journal this year. After 2 in a row and 2 overlapping each other for like 2 years. Now you might say, Amanda, why were you overlapping each other if you're writing the same thing? In my other one, my Leuchtturm 5-year, I was writing just like family happenings for the day. Like it could be anything, just basically what happened with each of the kids that day or something that went on with them or the family. So it was just basically recording events. And this one is a little bit deeper, but both are amazing records and really fun to read through when you're done for the 5 years. So maybe I'll get to use my nightly time instead of writing in my 5-year this year for just going back and reading my 5-year on that day every night. I think that will be really fun. And the cherry on top for keeping it. So no new 5-year is going to be started. And I'm actually really excited this one is finishing just because it feels like a really good wrap up on 5 years of your life. You know what I mean? It feels like a big accomplishment too. If I was buying a new 5-year journal, I think I would be really tempted by the Hobonichi because they have a whole extra page for every single day where you can kind of overflow write for that day as the 5 years go on. And a lot of times I find myself wanting a little bit more room to write or add details for that day. So I like how the Hobonichi has that overflow page with it. The one thing I don't love about the Hobonichi is it's already dated by year. So if you did it for 2 years, but then you want to take a break and come back, you'd have to redate all your years in there. And then the Common Planner 5-year would also be one that I would possibly consider. But I think because of the extra page, I think I would go with the Hobonichi 5-year. And I'm sure I will do another 5-year journal at some point, just not this year. All right, so the journal I'm going to be using this year when I just want to journal in the mornings with my morning basket and my scripture study time, I'm going to continue in this journal from Planner Perfect. I really like it. It's a pretty light gray dot grid, but the dots are pretty big. So you have to be okay with that. The paper, I cannot remember the GSM on this journaling paper. It does show through ghosting, but it does not bleed through. And I really don't mind that. I love the ghosting and the paper that feels like it's written on when you've journaled in it. I just don't want to show any of my journaling pages in here. But I did do something really fun up front with Planner Perfect stickers. I took, I save all her sticker sheets from my sub boxes. So I always have extras for every season that I haven't used. And I just did seasons, fall, winter, a circle, fall, winter, spring, and summer. And I just thought it was fun to represent the whole year and just have something beautiful in the opening of the book. So the cover of this book is really thick. And then bound, it's just so cute with the daisy that continues over. And you have that one ribbon bookmark in there. It is a shorty. It doesn't go to the ribbon test and go out the end, but it's just a really happy, beautiful book. And so it makes me excited to want to write in it. Here, I'm going to show you the back of this page that I wrote in. And sometimes I use the Planner Perfect washi tape for the season at the bottom. But you can see how writing shows up when a page is written on. Like, it's just a nice journal feel and look. The ghosting is very minimal, I feel like, and I've really enjoyed being in this journal. So this is going to be my journal. And if I want to write my prayers, I'm not going to have like a separate prayer journal this year. I'm going to just use this. This is going to be like, I think, journaling for everything, anything. Not having a separate, Katie Daisy journal for gratitude and, a separate 5-year for something. And a separate prayer journal because I already finished my last prayer journal. So this is it. It's pretty minimal this year, you guys, and I'm feeling really good about it. Now, to wrap us up, this might be an option. I just said it was minimal. When you have all these beautiful planners, right, you do feel pulled to use them. This year, if you look at my 2024 Q4 stack, I have filled up my entire Hobonichi cousin this year, basically with memories. I just used it as memories. I just wrote something that happened every day, recorded things that happened. That's basically all it was. And I used a lot of the daily pages for daily lists or brain dumping at night. I would kind of wrap up my day with it. Well, since I'm not going to use the Common Planner for my planner now, I'm thinking of using this for my daily wrap up memories, but I don't want to feel pressured to do it. So I'm going to leave that open. I'm going to leave it open for myself and we'll see how it goes. And I would use it just how I used my Hobonichi last year. And then, if I did use it for a good portion of the year, then I really feel like I would have a good handle after using both for a long time of the Common Planner versus Hobonichi. Now I am going to have a whole Common Planner review coming up. I think it's next week. We're going to finally do a full walkthrough of the Common Planner and talk about it. And then in January, I'm going to have a comparison video with the Common Planner, Hobonichi, the plans by Just Scribble, Aura Estelle, and Nisha Fernando Designs. So 5 Tomoe River paper planners. All are going to be in one big January comparison video. I've had a lot of questions about that. So that's where you're going to see those coming up. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any of these videos. My videos are typically Tuesdays at noon, but when I have 2 videos in a week, then we generally pop them on a Saturday. But sometimes with different seasons and launches and things, videos are at different times. All right, guys, that wraps up my 2025 stack. I'm feeling really excited about my stack. Nothing feels overwhelming to me. I feel like I have just the right tools for each different part of my life that I need. I would love to know how you're feeling about your 2025 stack. So share down below. I understand if you haven't chosen your stack yet or you're feeling some pain points, you know what? You are not alone. So let's chat down in the comments. We talk about these types of things all the time on my Patreon Zoom calls that I have once a month with my patrons. So if you are interested in checking that out, that link is always down in the description. You can just join up for 1 month and there is no commitment to stay. And when you join up, you have access to all the videos I've ever put out there. I put out more personal videos there. They also get launch videos early when we're able to release them early from a company. So you get exclusive videos there, personal content, and a monthly Zoom call with me, which we do record for those who cannot attend. And it's always put up there too. All right, guys, take care of yourselves so you can take care of others. Happy holidays. And I'm wishing you the best as you prepare for the new year, 2025. Here we come. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.